What's going on, everybody? Welcome to The Rewind. The show Smack Raw brings you every week to recap the highs and lows of WWE and AEW shows that they put on. My name is Kyle Tyson. I'm normally joined by my co-host RN. We had some scheduling conflicts, so I didn't want to go 2 weeks without an episode being put up, so I'm just going to go solo today. Hope you guys don't mind. And RN will be back later this week. We're going to be shooting some extra content to make up for this. We are going to be ranking all the draft picks for Raw and SmackDown and see, kind of just put our spin on it. If the draft was good for the wrestler, bad for the wrestler, or just kind of somewhere in the middle. And we'll rank them in two different videos. We'll do one for Raw and one for SmackDown. Should be a lot of fun. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. If you guys are new, we are doing a little campaign here, trying to get to 100 followers here on twitch.tv/SmackedRaw. Please follow us. We greatly appreciate it if you guys do. Hopefully we're going to get to that goal here by Halloween. That's the time we're getting there. We're at 92, only 8 more followers. So yeah, please make sure to follow us on Twitch. And of course, if you're watching this after it's been live, of course you can find us on youtube.com/SmackedRawPodcast. I think I have a button for that. Yeah, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. That way, if you can't tune into the live streams, you'll catch our shows after the fact over on YouTube. We want to thank everybody for helping us hit that new milestone, 350 subscribers. Fantastic. All right. What else? Oh, okay. Over in the chat, Bama's here, squared top 10. Hey, what's going on, EJ? Hope you guys are having a great afternoon. I love shooting these things during the daytime. I feel fresh. I'm not beat up by the day. I'm not thinking about bed. I have the perfect level of too much energy. And I like having that. Of course, I wish RN was here, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. Let's see. Oh, yeah, man. Patreon.com/SmackDrawPodcast. Go ahead, head over there, subscribe. We got a whole bunch of extra stickers that just came in, including some for RN's Route 4 Kennel. Some cool stickers for that as well. You go over there, hit that $5 subscription tier. We'll go ahead and send you out a sticker pack at the beginning of the month. Okay. I think that's it for my plugs. If there's anything else I can plug, it'd be that Bama's got some cool shows coming up. I guess I'll go ahead and talk about his show for a second. Bama is doing Check Your Temperature. It should be live. Let me check here. Here we go. It will be live 9 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow or later tonight. This will be Tuesday, October 19th. He'll be joined by Jay Thunder at The Real Big Triss. And, of course, friend of the show, Matt Vertigo, will be coming back. They're going to go ahead and gauge their temperature. How excited are they for the individual matches coming up at Crown Jewel? Should be a lot of fun. Check Your Temperature is definitely one of the best shows that this channel offers. Make sure to tune in live here on Twitch once again. So as they are going over the matches, you guys can gauge, how excited you are for these matches as well going into the pay-per-view this Thursday. Which also brings me to effect, how do you feel about these Crown Jewel shows? There's a lot of controversy surrounding doing these shows in Saudi Arabia. How essentially they're just like political advertisements for the Saudi government, How do you feel about watching pay-per-views in the middle of the afternoon? I know I tried to watch one once. I couldn't get into it. It's something about that primetime time slot, Sunday evening, even Saturdays, that just really helps you enjoy wrestling pay-per-views. Are you guys going to check it out? Let us know in the comments. But with that being said, let's go ahead and kick off this week. If you're unfamiliar with the format of the Rewind, this is not a formal recap of the shows, how they went in chronological order. I probably won't even cover everything. Actually, I know for a fact I won't cover everything that happened on these shows. These are the things that usually jump out and grab mine and RN's attention, whether it be, for the better or for the worse. If it's anything that we're apathetic about, we don't really care, didn't really grab our attention, usually we don't even bother mentioning it. So, if that means, I skipped over your favorite wrestler or your match of the week, I do apologize. It's nothing personal. These things are just pertaining to us individually. So with that being said, kicking off on Raw, the things that stood out to me is the quarterfinals did not turn out how we thought. A lot of us were thinking that Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston would be moving on for a potential matchup in the semifinals of the King of the Ring tournament. Of course, Xavier Woods was able to defeat Ricochet in a really fun match. However, later in the evening, Kofi Kingston fell to Jinder Mahal. Jinder will now be facing Xavier Woods in the semifinals. It was also revealed that Finn Balor later this week defeated Sami Zayn. We'll talk about that match further on. But because of my logic here, I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. So, King of the Ring, I think lately, in the last several years, it holds a special place in a lot of people's hearts as this big tournament. But its original inception, I went back and recently kind of watched some stuff on the King of the Ring and the history of it. Its original inception really was used primarily to boost like house show ratings. And for a long time, in fact, the majority of its life, there wasn't much effort put into the tournament itself and the winner of the tournament. In fact, over half of the King of the Ring winners really didn't do much afterwards. It didn't really affect them in a great way. Of course, later in the years, we have some of the biggest impacts came from it, of course, that being like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, those guys. I mean, Booker T, of course. And so when we think of those guys, we hold a much higher prestige on the tournament. With that being said, I think this year, there's not much prestige. Behind the scenes and on Twitter and on social media, we all are pulling for Xavier Woods. My official prediction is that Woods is going to lose to Jinder Mahal. Woods was probably only introduced into the tournament because there's that initial interest in him. But I don't think they have any intentions of that general interest pushing him to win the tournament. So I think Xavier Woods is going to fall to Jinder, and then Jinder is going to win over Finn at Crown Jewel, just because, like Money in the Bank, the King of the Ring, it primarily helps out heels. There are some exceptions for baby faces. But most of the time, it really accents a heel's character. And WWE, if we know anything about the company, they love to get heat on their wrestlers more than they like to push them. Perfect example why people never win in their hometowns is Vince, just believes in the ideology that you should get heat whenever you can. So with that being said, I really hate to say it, but I think Xavier's not even going to make it to the finals. Bama says, I think it should be the December pay-per-view again, and the King and Queen get the bragging rights until the next one, and a title shot. See, I agree with a title shot. I think it should be used as like the midway for the Royal Rumble winner, because you have the Royal Rumble to Mania. Maybe King of the Ring maybe if you do it like, I don't know, around Survivor Series time, kind of like we're doing it now, and it gets you the title shot at the end of the year before a Royal Rumble. I think something like that. I think there needs to be a reward more than just you dress in a crown and a cape and walk around with a scepter. But hey, that's just my take. Moving on. Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander defeated the team of Mustafa Ali and Mansoor. I'm actually a fan of this. The dissension between Ali and Mansoor, on the surface, we kind of laugh because we know that WWE likes to break up tag teams and Mansoor and Ali were drafted to SmackDown as a tag team. And the joke is like, wow, we're breaking them up before the draft even takes place. Actually, I think the contrary. This is going to make them a stronger team. They're going to face off at Crown Jewel against each other. And my theory is, because Mansoor is kind of like, is the exception to the hometown hero in WWE. Anytime they go to Saudi Arabia, they give Mansoor a big win. And I think it'll be no different here. I think Mansoor is going to go to Saudi Arabia. He's going to beat Ali. Because remember, the tension really comes from Ali thinking Mansoor is a loser. And he can't hang with the current crop of wrestlers, including himself. So Mansoor beats him in Saudi Arabia, gains Ali's respect. And at that point, they officially full in this tag team. And strengthens them going into SmackDown. Because I'm not gonna lie, I really like the pairing of the two. I'm a really big fan of theirs. I think there's a lot of potential there between them. How do I feel about Hurt Business reuniting? I'm for it, man. This is like one of those things where I don't care about the lazy storytelling. This is just one of those things that we hated Hurt Business splitting up so bad that we are willing to let logic kind of go out the window in the reuniting of them, excuse me. And even then, it's not like they completely ignored it. They did little seeds here and there on social media, MVP being, I think, on a flight with Shelton Benjamin. And, Bobby Lashley, of course, showed up wearing a Hurt Business shirt, So in that sense, look, I'm willing, just like I let a lot of stuff slide in AEW, this was one of the things I'll definitely let slide in WWE. I'm just happy they're back together. So let's see here. The Queen's Crown quarterfinal, Shayna Baszler defeated Dana Brooke in a squash match, essentially. And then Doudrop also defeated Natalya. We haven't gotten a decent match out of the women's division. In fact, it's been really laughable, and it continues to be laughable on SmackDown. I'll get to that. Oftentimes we point to how long the matches have, and I'm right there. I'm in 100% agreement, or 100% agreement with this, that the women are just not being shown respect in this tournament, and it's a damn shame. I'm not going to go on a rant and yell about how angry I am. I just want to just point out this one aspect. The prestige that wrestling fans hold for King of the Ring, whether WWE always sees it on the same level as the fans do is a story for another day. But that's shared between men and women. There's plenty of women out there, wrestling fans, that still love King of the Ring. And it probably, just like the Royal Rumble, the Money in the Bank match, have been just waiting for the day that they get their own. They get the Queen's Crown tournament, or Queen of the Ring if it wasn't already copyrighted. And it's got to be a big blow to those fans to see that, the first go around, they're investing, crap into it. Now, I will say this. I hope, unlike Evolution, this is not a one-time deal. Money in the Bank was kind of like a big flop that first go around when you had James Ellsworth win it for Carmella, but over time we have gotten really good Money in the Bank matches for the women, including Money in the Bank winners, to the point now where I feel it's almost elevated to the same level of importance as the men's, as far as excitement levels, not importance. So yeah, I think this go around is really a big dud, but I'm hoping and praying that it's not the end of the road for him. We'll get more as time goes on, and those ones will be shown more respect, especially from the backlash, hopefully, that surely comes from this one. Yeah, Bama says, until Becky and Sasha, who got 25 minutes, it sucks that they pretty much only trust 4 or 5 girls to do long matches. Granted, yeah. You're absolutely right. You're only getting long matches. And see, I saw people using that as a defense, was people were talking about the tournament matches getting no time, and then people defending it were like, well, look at what Becky and Sasha did and this and that. They're getting long matches. And like I said, my argument isn't that women don't get long matches. It's the tournament itself. and the just deflated feeling a lot of women have got to be feeling for looking forward to the first women's Queen of the Ring tournament and it turning out the way it has been. So that's just my take on it. Austin Theory defeated Jeff Hardy on Raw as well. I'm hoping this is just for a Jeff Hardy like heel turn, a character turn, almost like how Matt Hardy lost a bunch of matches and became Woken Matt. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Honestly, it's probably just WWE saying, you're out the door in a couple weeks. Who cares? Give this kid a couple wins and then start your own thing on SmackDown. That's probably what it is. The Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair took on Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. So me and Bama, fellow hosts of SmackDown, we're divided on the Four Horsewomen lately, and we're divided here. Bama loved this match, and I thought it was an absolute crapshoot. It could have been saved. In my opinion, it could have been saved, but it was an absolute crapshoot. They gave away the ending in the beginning of the match, which was that the whole how will they coexist? Well, they didn't. Becky and Charlotte started fighting, and Sasha and Bianca started fighting before the match even started. It doesn't make sense for Adam Pearce to come out and just say, you guys stop fighting, get along, and do the match. And then all of a sudden, they put their egos aside and actually have a match. Which, by the way, it still devolved into everybody fighting. And so the match essentially was for nothing. Now, granted, if you find the enjoyment of bitter tag team partners, cool, but there was no stakes. There was nothing here, and the ending was given away in the beginning. And that's why I think it's a crap match. Now, how I would have booked it was the four women obviously can't get along, so Adam Pearce just comes out and says, okay, it's a fatal four-way. And just do that. And then the match would make sense. And it would have a natural chemistry. This is my take. Should have been a fatal four-way. The match was crap. And then lastly, the Usos defeated Big E and Drew McIntyre via DQ. Nothing really to notate there. Yeah, and that was Raw for me. That was pretty much my take on Raw. It was okay. It was long. It was really long. And it had some highs, some lows, but that was Raw for me. I didn't catch NXT. I caught the ending, though, which I thought was great. Escobar and his boys doing what they always do and kidnap the majority of Hit Row. Left Swerve out there to take on Escobar himself, which was a fantastic match. And Swerve ended up winning, only for Carmelo Hayes to come out and cash in that contract on Swerve and end up becoming the new North American champion. I thought that was good. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of excited to see Swerve go to main roster with that belt, kind of like how we had Kevin Owens with the NXT title for a while. That was really fun. But it's okay. I'm happy Hit Row's on main roster. The North American title still feels important. We'll see what Carmelo Hayes can do. He's fantastic. Good stuff all around. Okay, so weird thing here. Who tuned into Dynamite on Wednesday? Yeah, you'd be sad to find out it was moved to Saturday. We found this out. And then here came all the drama. All the Friday night war, which is going to last all of one day. Throughout the week, we got the supersized SmackDown, which was going to run a half hour in a Rampage's time slot. So Tony Khan replied with, fine, we'll do an hour buy-in on YouTube. They had back and forth likes on Twitter about like Sami Zayn's hair growing and Daniel Bryan's beard growing. This stuff was fantastic. I was not bitter about a damn thing that went back and forth between WWE and NXT this week. This is when people talk about competition creating fun product, this is what they mean. Everything about that we were given on Friday night was fun, in my opinion. It doesn't mean it was perfect or historic, but it was funner than it had any right to be, in my opinion. So on SmackDown side of things, I'm not gonna lie, SmackDown as a whole, it wasn't like the biggest thing, but it was all right. It was all right. I'm not gonna lie. The highly anticipated return of Sonya Deville and Naomi was a swerve. Before the match, Sonya Deville reveals that they'll have a match, but it's a handicap match, and Shayna Baszler is her partner. They easily dispatch Naomi. It doesn't really make much sense for Baszler, who's doing the lone wolf stuff nowadays, but it is what it is. This is going to have a great payoff when Naomi finally gets her comeuppance against Sonya Deville. I honestly think so. It will be fantastic. And then hopefully she'll join the Bloodline with the Usos. That'll be fantastic too as well. Finn Balor and Sami Zayn were given time in their quarterfinals match. And it was fantastic. I mean, they got a great match. And like I mentioned earlier, on the women's side, there was nothing. It was Carmella and Zelina Vega having a match. Carmella was too focused on getting her mask, and Liv Morgan was out there, and during the distraction, this allowed Zelina Vega to get rolled up, and it was done in a heartbeat. I joked, but I genuinely think I might be right about this. I bet if you take the longest Undertaker WrestleMania entrance and compare that to all the matches by the time this Queen Crowns tournament is finished, I bet you Undertaker's entrance will be longer than all the matches combined, bell to bell. Go ahead. Anyone want to take that bet? Let me know in the chat, in the comments section. We'll see. But yeah, the match, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, fantastic. Finn Balor wins. He's obviously in the finals now at Crown Jewel, taking on the winner of Jinder Mahal or Xavier Woods, which we'll find out on Raw later tonight or last night, depending on when you're watching this. Edge almost got promo of the week. I was watching on Friday, and his promo was fantastic. He admitted that Seth Rollins isn't Edge light, that Seth Rollins is Seth freaking Rollins. But he says that the depraved nature and the lengths that Seth is willing to go to just still don't match up with Edge's. But Edge will not take pity. He won't hesitate because come hell in the cell, they're both devils, and that's what they do. It was really good. Trust me when I say it was really good. It would have been my promo of the week if it wasn't for Hangman Page on Dynamite. I will say that. Lastly, man, Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin, damn it, this stuff was dead on arrival, wasn't it? It's just really bad. Like, I don't even want to break down the segment. It's really bad. They just need to be taken off TV. I'm gonna leave it at that. Just take them off TV till you have something different for these guys, man. And then lastly, you'll probably be surprised to hear, but the Usos versus the Street Profits officially are this week's Rewind match of the week. Okay, so a lot of you guys probably thought I was going to give it to Bryan Danielson and Minoru Suzuki, which, flip a coin. It could have gone either or, but I gotta give it here, and simply because of the table spots. It was a fun, chaotic tag match. It harkened back to the times of Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, the Dudleys. These guys laid it all out. I love some hardcore tag team matches. Those are always gonna be my favorite. If you ever want a cheap win from me, do one of those. Do something that resembles a tag team tables match, ladder match, TLC match. Do something to that degree, and you're going to win match of the week here on Smacked Raw almost 100% of the times. Usos ended up coming away with a victory, too. They retained their belts, which, by the way, this was also going on head-to-head with Bryan Danielson and Minoru Suzuki. The two best matches of the week, in my opinion, were going on at the same time on two different shows. That is competition, folks, and it's fantastic. That's what we want. We want to know that because of these things, if you tune into one show or the other, you're going to get the best of what they have coming. And that was that little glimpse right there for this week, in my opinion. And then lastly, the main event of that half-hour run over on SmackDown was Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns contract signing. Roman has Paul look over the contract. Paul hands it to Roman. Roman signs it. He hands it to Lesnar. And Bama says, screw storytelling. Just go through tables and fall off ladders, and Kyle is happy. Yep. I mean, I'm a simple man, Bama. I'm a simple man. But Lesnar gets the contract. He quickly signs it. Roman starts mocking him, laughing at him like, you idiot. You're not even going to read the contract. And Lesnar drops the bombshell that he had already looked it over during the morning of Friday with his advocate, Paul Heyman, while Roman Reigns was left looking perplexed in the ring. Mind games being played by Lesnar, of all people. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I don't really agree that it was worth waiting an extra half hour. You could have put that anywhere on the show, and it would have been really good. But I mean, hell, it's something that was good, so I'm here for it. What else, man? We got Rampage and Dynamite. Anyone else like Dynamite capping off the week instead of Rampage? I think that's really good. I mean, it's obviously it's AEW's A show. It always feels kind of weird to me that the week caps with AEW's like B show, and I guess it's not something new. We've always had SmackDown end the week instead of Raw, so I don't know. It felt kind of fresh to do Rampage first and then follow it up with Dynamite, in my opinion. If you watch both shows, now during the runover from, during the half-hour buy or the hour-long buy-in, we got Tay Conti defeating Santana Garrett, which was okay, and then Lee Moriarty lost his match to Bobby Fish in two decent matches. However, that buy-in was capped off with Minoru Suzuki versus Bryan Danielson. And damn it, I love Suzuki's entrance. I've loved everything about his character. I love Bryan Danielson. This match was hard-hitting, dude. Bryan Danielson has a knack for whenever he gets his way, he ends up having his chest turned to like hamburger. Bama says got a jet. Awesome show, bud. Thank you, Bama. You have a good one, bud. But man, yeah, these guys just beat the crap out of each other. This was definitely for people who like hard-hitting, stiff matches. Everybody after the match was calling Suzuki the true king of strong style. At one point, Suzuki hits an elbow and busts like Bryan Danielson's cheek open. I mean, it's a hard-hitting affair. Not for the weak of heart, that's for sure. Bryan Danielson ended up winning after like a 15-minute slugfest. It was fantastic. Like I said, it was that close to my match of the week, but I had to inch it out for Profits and the Usos. And then during the actual main Rampage show, we saw Matt Seidel and CM Punk. Probably Punk's worst match since he's come back to AEW. Not that it was bad. It just wasn't really up there. It looks like their chemistry kind of struggled a little bit. However, I will say at the end, there was a great GTS counter from a crucifix position that Punk pulled off. Man, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Punk got the win. It was great. Following that was Ruby Soho defeating Bunny. That TBS championship can't get here quick enough. I'm not gonna lie. The women's division, especially in the Kiera Hogan and Penelope Ford match that followed on the next night, the women's division just it's either like really decent or it looks like people like still training. Now, obviously, Ruby Soho is a pro, and Bunny is decent in her own right, but I don't know, man. The match was kind of lacking for me. It wasn't just I was just kind of like, who knows? Maybe I was suffering from burnout watching 2 wrestling shows simultaneously, but this match just didn't really do it for me. Which is, like I said, I normally would just breeze on through. I just feel bad because it has Ruby Soho in it, and I just could not care about the match. And then finally, the Rampage was topped off with American Top Team teaming up as with Junior Dos Santos and Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. They defeated Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Jake Hager. There was a distraction by Paige Van Zant, and it allowed Jorge Masvidal hit that flying knee on Jericho in this tag match. And it was okay. It was okay. I mean, what do you expect when you have like a pro MMA faction? You're not going to get like banger of matches. They're more or less for the story aspect. But it was decent. American Top Team. I'm wondering just where this arc is going to go. It's probably going to have a blow off with the Inner Circle and them doing some like cage match or something. I just hope they do not bring that MMA cage they did with Hager and Wardlow. We don't need that. It was a one and done. I liked it. I did not want any more of it. However, let's leave that alone and move on to Dynamite. Malachi Black defeated Dante Martin. Good. Malachi Black's always great. He later in the evening there was this promo, which I don't think I've done promo of the week. Oh yeah, I can do promo for this one. It's close for promo of the week. Dang, they had a couple good promos this week. But it was more or less like a pre-tape footage of Cody Rhodes just having the entire Nightmare Factory is turning on him, and they just beat the piss out of him for a training session. And you can see that they're really, Arn Anderson is really trying to ground Cody again and keep him face. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is Cody still a face? Are you guys buying the PR tour that he's doing, saying that he'll never turn heel again now that he's got kids? Or do you think that's in character? It's because we're getting a turn. I don't know, man. Like I think if they're really trying to make Cody keep him face and still somehow make this man sympathetic, or even like a Moxley like tweener, it's kind of tone deaf in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But like Cody is in dire needs of a heel turn. Like he really is, man. This whole wanting to be this weird combination of John Cena and, I'm not gonna lie, The Miz, it just strikes me as odd, man. And it strikes me as just not a genuine person, which makes it very hard to want to cheer for him. Which is weird because he's the son of Dusty Rhodes. It should be a no-brainer. But I don't know. What do you guys think, man? What do y'all think? You think he's a heel? He's turning heel, or y'all still believe he's a babyface and everything? I don't know. You guys just let me know. Lucha Bros took on Andrade's masked opponents. What were they called? Like the Frog Brothers or something. It was so silly. CM Punk was like, "Look, let's not even play around. We know that's FTR under those masks." It of course ended up being FTR. Surprisingly, though, they actually pulled out the victory. Got I believe a Dax. I want to say hit Rey Fenix with one of the belts while the ref was distracted, and they picked up the win. They are now your AAA Tag Team Champions. FTR is. That's great. Put some gold on those guys. That's never a bad move. It's fantastic. I just can't get over the Los Conquistador vibes you got from this. I know I'm not the only one that felt that. Back when Edge and Christian would just be in those horrendous gold luchador outfits, and now FTR has had their chance to do that, man. I loved it, man. I was tickled watching that damn match. John Moxley afterwards came out and absolutely murdered Wheeler Yuta. It was good. This should not have been a competitive match. I like what Moxley did. He had no time to kill. He caught Yuta off guard. I don't think Yuta was buried in this by no means. I think he used the story that Yuta was, thinking they were going to square up, and not that Moxley would just swarm him the second he got in the ring. It was a good job. It was a good job. For a squash match, that's kind of how you do it. That's like a good squash match. That's how you do one. Dark Order, this match was okay. Evil Uno, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver taking on the Super Click. You had a nice little spot here. Alex Reynolds and John Silver kissing Adam Cole on the cheek. It was funny stuff, man. Super Click obviously got the win, though, at the end. Still great match, though. You had the crowd cheering, this is awesome. Alex Reynolds and John Silver, man, that combination of like kicks, suplexes, and the stunner that they do, and how fast they just like rail off every move is still one of my favorite spots that you get to see in that tag team. It's fantastic stuff. The big dud of the show is going to be Kiera Hogan and Penelope Ford. It was a bad match. They looked like they were learning how to wrestle during the match. They weren't on the same page, and then when they were missing spots, I assume the veteran move would be to call an audible. You know, like the last thing you'd want to do is just like stand there and almost assist your opponent in what they were doing. You know, just call an audible, like strike them, you know, and work it out in the melee. And yeah, you could definitely see the inexperience here or lack of chemistry. I don't want to be too offensive and be like, I don't know how much experience either of them has, but yeah, something was definitely very off. It was honestly probably my dud of the week. I don't have a graphic for that yet. I need a graphic for that shit. But yeah, it was definitely dud of the week. And then it was followed up with the promo of the week. Cowboy shit has returned. It was funny, man. Adam Page killed it. But I'm not going to lie, the first half of this just had me laughing. Because you ever heard that joke about like country songs are always about like what the singer loses? Like, and that's what Adam Cole was talking about. He lost his tag titles. He lost his title shot. He lost his friends. He lost his like self-respect, apparently. Oh, it was some good stuff. But yeah, the the power of cowboy shit, man, was what got him through all of it. And it was good stuff. If you're gonna go back and watch this promo. Adam Page killed it. And then finally, the night was topped off. Bryan Danielson versus Bobby Fish. Obviously, this match was really good. Wasn't as good as the Suzuki one. I mean, it followed literally 24 hours later. Of course, it's not going to be as good. But decent match nonetheless. Dynamo was great. I like the week ending with Dynamite too, by the way. It was really fun. But yeah, what'd you guys think? It was a good week. What was the show of the week? Honestly, I want to say show of the week would probably be a toss-up from what I heard between Dynamite and NXT. It's a shame I missed NXT because from what I heard this week, they really turned it around. Almost like Vince and Bruce Pritchard were nowhere to be found, and they let their matches breathe. I'll have to go back, maybe watch it this evening before Raw. See if it was. I guess in that respect, though, I'll say my show of the week was probably Dynamite. What'd you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Thank you once again for watching and tuning in. You guys are always awesome. And until next time, y'all have a good one.